We're in the USA. You're in the USA.
I'm so happy.
USA, baby.
Finally.
USA. Are you crying?
It's happened! It's actually happened! The day has finally come! Every hardship that Michael's faced, every argument, all those insults, it's all been for this very moment. But here's where the real test begins. Was this all for love? Or, now that Michael's finally in the States, has he now got everything he needs from Angela?
You know, deep down, I truly love you, and you know I'm not using you for the green card or for the visa.
Right, right, okay, say it enough, and maybe someone will believe you, Michael. But before we get there, let's just rewind back to the start. So, the last we saw these two, the fallout was still continuing about what was on Michael's phone. Only in a bid to finally put an end to it, Michael not only gave up his phone, but also started to open up to his wife. He told her he was feeling depressed. He admitted that all of these visa worries for so many years have left him feeling lonely. And surprisingly, with that, Angela's cold heart actually thawed a little.
Michael told me for the first time that he was really lonely. He's showing me more emotion, more than I've ever seen in 6 years. But it's so hard to figure out the truth with Michael.
Now, while Angela says she isn't going to pull the visa application, she admits she's still not 100% sure whether or not Michael's actually being honest with her about his intentions. She tells Michael he needs to stop giving her reasons not to trust him. She says everything they've learned in couples therapy has completely gone out of the window. So Michael knows he's got a lot of work to do to try and win back her trust.
I believe it's a new beginning for us now, you know, as soon as we get the visa and we start living together.
A fresh start? Do you really believe that, Michael? Like, he seems to be suggesting here that they're on their way to getting back on track. But let's be honest here, I think they're gonna need a lot more than just a visa. Dare I say it, I think he needs to have the memory of a goldfish and the patience of a saint to ever really fully forgive her for what she's just done to him. She's just publicly humiliated him on TV yet again. She's ridiculed him, she's emasculated him. The guy had to give up his own phone. In fact, he reminds her she now has his phone so that she can snoop as much as she likes. Ah, how sweet. Who said love is dead? What a lovely, healthy way to start the new beginning, as Michael called it.
You know, deep down, I truly love you, and you know I'm not using you for the green card or for the visa.
Yeah, alright, Michael. I mean, if it is truly a fresh start, surely you shouldn't be lying either. Now, whatever, the guy has to do what the guy has to do. He's on the home straight now. America's so close, he can almost taste it. All that now stands between him and the land of the free is this decision that they're waiting on. The decision that should only take a couple of weeks. And much to his relief, Angela seems willing to wait.
So I am going to stay to see about our visa. I don't want to pull it.
Right, just look at Michael here. His mouth may be smiling, but his eyes are screaming, "Help me!
Help me! Help me!"
But the truth is, Michael was probably hoping Angela would go home while they waited to hear back from the embassy so that he could have a bit of peace. But sadly, it looks like that isn't gonna happen. It's never gonna happen while he's with this monster.
But just don't think I'm not watching you. Because I'm watching. Just because I'm smiling at you, I'm watching.
Babe, you know, I'm tired of fighting with you.
Yeah, even though Angela's having a cool, calm conversation with him, even though for a change she's not screaming, the threats still remain. She seems to love making her husband walk on eggshells 24/7. There's not a moment's peace for the poor man. Like, she might say that she's tired of fighting, but the truth is, they've been in this fight for 7 years at this point. Let's just call it for what it is. A leopard doesn't change its spots. Her very nature future, the whole dynamic of their relationship isn't just magically somehow gonna change. Angela's always going to want to control Michael. She's always gonna be suspicious about him. Period.
It doesn't mean I don't think there's shady. I do, but I believe he can change. Like, it doesn't seem like he's saying things just to make me feel better this time.
Look, here's what I think we need to ask ourselves. If she doesn't really trust him, and it's clear that she doesn't, why is she still with him? Why hasn't she cancelled the visa application? The answer to that is Angela is very confident in her ability to control Michael. She doesn't trust him. She thinks he might be a scammer, but she thinks she'll be able to keep on top of it. Now, we all know that decision, that deluded self-confidence that she has, will, at some point in the future, come back to bite her in the arse. But, for now at least, there is some peace between them.
And I'm not going anywhere. We are both here together for it. And it's our visa, not my
So I
visa.
keep telling you.
It's our visa. I got you.
Now, it's at this point that the scene ends and the show does a magical time jump. You see, the next time we catch up with them, it's finally happened. It's the day we've all been waiting for. We've all been waiting for this, maybe as eagerly as Michael himself has. After 7 long, hard years, after countless hours of abuse from Angela, after living his life in fear, in hell, Michael somehow miraculously never gave up hope. And now he's here. He's finally arrived in the United States of America.
We're in the USA. You're in the USA.
I'm so happy.
USA, baby.
Finally.
USA. Are you crying?
I'd be crying too. I mean, this is proof, if ever you need it, never to give up on your dreams. Hard work really does pay off. It really genuinely felt like this day would never come. But here we are, after all the dedication that he's put into this dream. I'm sorry, but I really don't care if he married Angela just for a green card or not. This man has well and truly earned his place in the States.
We're in the USA. Let's see some patriotism. Now you're a Nigerian American. Turn around, let me see. No dirt on it? Okay, you did good.
Yes, Michael, bask in it, lap it up. You deserve it, my man. If everyone could please raise a glass to toasting Michael, to the man who's just proved hard work and dedication truly does pay off. The American dream does exist, just far, far away from Angela. But one thing at a time, we'll cross that bridge another day.
Is this real?
Let me feel it. Oh, it is real. We've been through a lot, and I appreciate my wife, no?
Look at him. This right here, this smile, might just be the most honest thing I've seen from Michael. This is an honest to God, I'm happy, I'm ecstatic smile. Now, let's compare that to the smile we saw earlier this episode. The smile of the man who just realised he might have to spend an indefinite amount of time with the woman he claims he loves, waiting to hear back from the embassy. Yeah, thankfully, that decision turned out to be much faster than even Michael was anticipating.
But to God be the glory. After the administrative processing, after 2 weeks, it has been approved. It was quicker than I thought.
Michael, have you just been caught out in a lie again? Notice how he just admitted he didn't really believe 2 weeks was going to be all it took. Anyway, that is all water under the bridge at this point, because I've got a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot more of his real smile in the coming weeks and months. But make no mistake, this is going to be the toughest test of their relationship to date. You see, they may have been together for 7 years, but the entirety of their relationship has been long distance. They've only ever been around each other continuously for short spurts, a week or two at a time. There's always been an end date. There's always been light at the end of the tunnel. Michael's always known she's gonna go home sooner or later. This will now be the first time he's stuck with her 24/7 indefinitely. Yeah, one last time, let me just remind you what this poor guy's face looks like when he thinks he's stuck with her indefinitely.
I'm excited to be by Angie's side, do things together, travel, go to nice restaurant, just have fun and build a family.
Michael seems to be feeling pretty optimistic about his future, but keep in mind, he's riding on the crest of a wave at the moment. He's on a high, having just entered the country. Let's see how long that can fare when he's settled in, when he realises the reality of what his life in America will really be like. When he's all alone with Angela and her family, and he realises he's 100% dependent on her now. He's financially dependent on a woman and a family who don't really trust him. Now, on that note, speaking of Angela's family, Angela thinks it will be a good idea to surprise them all.
But you gotta remember, Michael, the kids don't know you're coming to neither does Skylar. I kept it a surprise. They think I just left you there, you're going back to Nigeria, and I've waited all I can wait.
So, as they make their way back to Angela's remote home in Hazelhurst, Georgia, a town with less than 5,000 inhabitants, Angela tries to brace Michael for how Skylar, her daughter that doesn't even like Michael, who's told her multiple times that she thinks Michael's a scammer and that she should leave him, might react when he walks through the door and surprises her and her kids. Surprise!
Skylar?
Yeah, I don't know how she's gonna act. Because, the updates were bad, Michael. When I was telling her what was going on and stuff.
Now, keep in mind, the kids all love Michael, right? They don't know life without him, albeit through a video call. And I think Angela's just hoping that if Skylar can see how happy they all are, if Skylar can see how happy she supposedly is, maybe her stance towards Michael might soften. But I think she's being a little optimistic there. Like, in exactly the same way that I said Michael needs the memory of a goldfish and the patience of a saint to ever really fully forgive Angela, I think the same also applies for Skylar. I think she hasn't ever fully forgiven her stepdad for asking for her eggs in order to have a kid with Angela. Yeah, understandably, that scarred her for life. She'll never forget that. So you can imagine that this, Michael now about to walk through the door, is about to be the shock of Skylar's life.
In my heart, I really believe Michael is going to show me and Skylar that he can be a loving husband. I know he can. All right, good luck.
Angela instructs Michael to wait 5 minutes in the car before coming in. And as she walks up to her door and turns the key, the episode ends. So we'll just have to wait until next week to see whether this really is the fresh start that Michael and Angela both hope for, or whether behind that door is the start of a whole new nightmare.